Hey everybody, I'm Devin. If you don't know me, I like to make tech and pretty much lifestyle content, more specifically tech content. And I just want to show you guys some stuff that I've been working on as of late. I am a graphic designer, web designer, and web developer, and I also like to dabble in a little bit of code. And I like to make my workflow just a little bit more, efficient, to say the least. And during my time of doing that, I also wanted to try and make it ergonomic and things like that. And spoiler or fair warning, I have a trackball mouse and I am childish. So I might be making some jokes about balls. So let's get right into it. So I made this utility with AutoHotkey called Mouse Utilities. And essentially what it is it allows me to do some stuff with my trackball mouse to, do things around the computer, make life a lot of bit easier, things like that. So let's kind of like get an idea of how it works. So I have this one tool called Cursor, and in PowerToys there's a integration where you can hold a button or press a button on a keyboard and it will show you your cursor. So if I do the keyboard shortcut, that makes sense, but I just like, okay, I don't like that. So in order for me to do that, I mapped it to hold. I created a script to hold on the back button, so that way I can show my cursor wherever my cursor is, and I can customize the cursor highlight thing on the PowerToy suite. But if I hold the back button on here, you can barely see it, but this button right here, it'll show the cursor, and then I can kind of go from there. Another part of the utility is the smooth trackball scroll. And this is from another person that I was like, okay, I want to integrate this into my script, but wasn't exactly sure how. And then I just kind of used AI to do all of the things that I need to do. And sure enough, it works. So a lot of this stuff is just kind of like AI dropping in and then adding things to it, more specifically Claude Code. So yeah, there's that. Um, so now that we gotten past the whole AI shtick and all the other stuff, let's talk about my balls and go from there. Next up, we have smooth trackball scrolling, and like I said before, it allows me to scroll, and I can just hold the forward button, and it'll scroll scroll whatever is on my screen. So if I want to scroll this, I can do it that way. Granted, I do have the scroll wheel right here, but it's easier to just do this, and then I don't have to go through and map it through anything. And there were some modifications I made to the script that I want to show you. So the original script allowed you to do snapping for just the entire script, but I wanted to turn on snapping for parts of the script and some of the script and not part of the script. So that's what I ended up doing. So what I did was I made it so that way I can specify a list of commands in order for me to do that. And let's go through this and I'll show you exactly what I mean. So when I'm scrolling through code here, when I'm scrolling through design here, I can just like move it in any direction here. But if I open up my code editor Z and let's go mouse utilities, I'll get that open. And once that pops open, I gotta bring it up. It allows me to scroll in one direction and not the other one. And let me give you a good example of that by shrinking the window. So actually, that's too small. Let's try that. There we go. So it'll snap in one direction and then it'll scroll in another direction if it detects that you're just trying to like make it scroll down one direction. That's useful for when you're scrolling because when you're scrolling a trackball, it's going to go in any direction if you can see that. So it's going to go diagonal or stuff like that. But it's got really good snapping in here. But yeah, that's a nice little feature. And then Affinity has this particular feature where if you press and hold the middle button, which I mapped to the button over here on the right. I don't think you can see it, so I'll just kind of adjust it. There's two buttons. This is the right click, and then this is the left click. I'm sorry, middle click. I mapped the middle click button to that. And the nice thing about that is I can click here, and then I can click the middle button. I can just zoom in and call it good. So that's kind of nice. I can just do that and go from there. The smooth trackball scrolling works really, really well. It just makes my life a lot easier. But let's move on to the other tools that are associated with it. Snippet and record. So I have these two buttons mapped to what is it? This is the color picker, and that's good and all. But I also have it mapped to the snipping tool, which allows me to like snip stuff throughout windows and stuff like that and kind of go from there. Um, the other thing I like about this is that I can hold the button and it'll pop it up, and I can just start recording if I want to, because the snippet tool supports recording, and I just have to press that button there, and bam, I have a recording utility for creating quick views for like clients and stuff like that. So that's kind of nice. The undo redo buttons are mapped up so that way, if I go back in code editor, I can just go back and forward in the code editor. This is the my preferred way of doing this. But if I'm in like a design application and I just wanted to move stuff around and I just accidentally move that around, I can just press the back button and then not even put my hands on Control Z on the keyboard. So when I'm working on a document, it just seems more fluid. So that's another little improvement that I like to make. Last couple, I have caps lock shift and volume control. So caps lock shift remaps the caps lock button to act as a shift key because I never use the caps lock button. And volume control allows me to use the up and down buttons here. You can map this to whatever you would like to. But I can use this to adjust the volume on the fly, just in case if it's too loud or too, too small, too low, and stuff like that. I do have a Stream Deck, which is over here, but pretty much that's how I adjust the volume when I'm like in the middle of something. I'm in the zone, and then basically the idea is to make it so that way I don't really have any like I don't have to take my mouse hand off the mouse unless I have to. And the same thing for the keyboard. So like I can navigate throughout the keyboard. I know all my shortcuts, but I wanted to be able to do the same thing with the mouse. So that way I'm not taking my hand off the mouse and then switching back and forth. Basically reduce the context switching for when I'm doing multiple things, stuff like that. But yeah, that is pretty much it. Let me switch back so you can see my face. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah. Wait, no, wrong one. There we go. Yeah. So, if you guys want to see the script, I'll be posting the link in the description on YouTube. And yeah, if you guys want to use it, go ahead and use it. But that's pretty much it. I just wanted to show you guys my nerding out about my balls. All right. Peace.